Hi, and welcome to Rooster Time and episode 32 of Holistic Movement with me. And I thought I'd open up with a quote by Moshe Feldenkrais, the innovator of awareness through movement, when he said, "You can't do what you want until you know what you're doing." And I open up with that quote because last week we did the pelvic clock, which is wonderful, but it's quite challenging for some people, including me, some mornings when my pelvis can't move the way it should move. And so I thought we'd break it up into parts because, like what Feldenkrais said, you can't do what you want until you know what you're doing. So what if we were to break it up into simple chunks and then bring it all together and synthesize it later, okay? Synergy. So we're going to start by lying on our backs, and if you hear the occasional rooster crowing, you know it's that mofo in the jungle there. Okay, so we're going to have our feet hip width apart. I'm going to bring my arms here so you can see my lower back and the change in my lower back when I come into an anterior and posterior tilt. Okay, so imagine here's my pelvis, the top of my pelvis, and I'll probably, maybe we'll put a picture of a pelvis up there so you can see pelvis in action. So here's my pelvis here. When we come into an anterior tilt, imagine the top of the pelvis. The top of the pelvis, if there's an arrow coming out of it, it's tilting forward. And then when the pelvis comes into a posterior tilt, the top of the pelvis is pointing backwards, hence the word posterior anterior. Okay, so I'm going to do it with my hands as I do it with my pelvis. I come into anterior tilt, and then I come into posterior tilt. Anterior, posterior. Okay, I'm going to relax my arms now. Now you see when I come into, I'm going to try to time my talking when the rooster is not crowing. So I come into anterior, the lower back, there's a gap between my back and the floor. Then posterior tilt, I push the lower back, but it's more, instead of thinking that I'm pushing, that you're squeezing circumferentially, because remember the circumferential breath that I taught you many classes ago? There's anterior tilt, there's posterior. And we're just doing this in a very relaxed manner. Now, when you're doing this, can you do it with your eyes closed? And then also notice, are you tensing your pelvic floor? Now, I didn't bring this up at the beginning because I wanted you to see if you could figure it out. The timing of your breath. Let's time it where when we inhale, we come into the anterior tilt and your belly comes up towards the sky, the ceiling. And then when you exhale, you're squeezing in circumferentially. That balloon, remember? Squeezing the balloon, letting the balloon expand on the interior. And then exhale, squeeze it down. Let's do about 3 more. Inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Okay, that was the last one. Let's bend one knee, bend the other, I should say straighten the other leg. We're going to drop both arms next to the body. We're going to rest here. Now, as you are resting, notice how your lower back is now touching the floor. And do you feel any circulation in your lower back, your pelvis, maybe the heads of your femurs? Maybe it reverberates all the way up to your mid-back. Take a couple more breaths. Listen to those beautiful roosters. So soothing, isn't it? Okay, we're going to bend both knees again. Now, with this position, we're going to do the same position as we just did with the lower back and the pelvis, but I'm going to add a little monkey wrench into it. We're going to bring one leg up, and then the other into a tabletop position. Okay, now, when we come into the anterior and posterior tilt, I'm not going to let my knees or my legs move. This is the difficult part. But, sorry, I'm going to drop the legs just to explain one thing. When we come up into that tabletop position, think about this. The pelvis is going to move around the femurs. The femurs are not going to move around the pelvis. What do I mean by this? Think about the action of walking. When we walk, the femurs move as a pivot point around the pelvis. Meaning, think of the socket, the hip socket here. When the femurs go into the pelvis, let's say here's the pelvis. Here's the head of the femur doing this action, right? Hydrating the hip joint by walking like this. Instead, what we're doing is this. We're going to move the pelvis upon the femur and affect it differently. So we're moving from top to bottom, not bottom to top. So I'm going to bring my arms out to the side just for stability. I'm going to bring one leg up, another leg up into the tabletop. I'm going to separate my knees hip width, and then watch. I move my pelvis on the inhale into anterior tilt, and then exhale, bring it into posterior tilt. And this is going to be way more challenging than it is for me because I've got two legs in the air. And so I've got a lot more added weight upon where the head of the femur connects into the pelvis. They call this joint, or they call that area, the acetabulum, but I like to pronounce it as acetabulum. Inhale, pelvis comes into anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Now, are those knees moving? If they are, scold them. There's nothing like shame to help people learn, and especially shaming yourself. We don't have enough shame in the world. We need more shame. Shame on you. Shame on you, knees, for disobeying me. This feels so good on my lower back. I just feel it strengthening, creating new neurological connections here. What about your neck, though? I noticed my neck was tensing. What about your neck? Is it tensing? Can you let go of a little bit of tension in your neck and your pelvic floor? Because I was tensing my pelvic floor. I'm trying to let that go too. Let's do 3 more. Okay, let's drop one leg, the other. Let's straighten both legs. Let's relax here. Let your body fall into the floor here. And as you're falling, think about those 2 positions that we just did. And these are the precursors to the pelvic clock. Because part of the pelvic clock is anterior posterior tilt. Next week, we'll add the side movement to it, a tilt to it. This is anterior posterior tilt. Next week, we'll add the left right tilt, or you could look at it upon as a rotation, and then we'll combine those 2 and come back to the pelvic clock once again. Okay, slowly open your eyes. We're going to bend both knees. We're not going to come up and sit. You can just listen to me. We're going to come into a bridge position, basic bridge, and then we're going to complicate it a little bit because life is complicated, especially with roosters crowing in the background. We're going to keep both arms next to our body, and I'm going to actually sit up just to look at the position of my feet because I want to make sure that they're in line. I'm going to separate my toes as much as I can. I'm going to lie back, and I want to remember with the bridges, we want to make sure that our feet are not too far away, not too near to our bum. We want to find a neutral position for our sacrum and try to have as much surface area of your sacrum touching the floor. I'm going to tuck my chin under just to elongate my cervical spine. I'm going to push down and concentrate on my big toes to offer that stability and support for my knees. And then I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, come into a posterior tilt there, if you can see that. Okay, so pushing the lower back into the floor, but I'm circumferentially squeezing my abdominal region in to create that stability as well. And I come up into the bridge. I'm going to connect my rib cage to my pelvis. And then when you feel you're in the proper position that's right for you, let's go into our breath and inhale, expand that abdominal region like a balloon circumferentially, and then exhale, squeeze in. When you got that breath down, then you're going to concentrate on how your butt is connecting to your hamstrings, and then you're pushing your big toes down. And then I'm taking that awareness, I should say, I still have the awareness in my pelvic region, but now I'm taking the horse blinders off and concentrating on my neck, relaxing my neck and my shoulders. And then feeling my rib cage and its connection to my pelvis. Then the hamstrings and how they connect to my glutes. Then back to my big toes. Relaxing my shoulders again and my jaw. Let's do 3 more breaths. Okay. Keep using your big toes, and we're still holding stability in the lower back and the pelvis. I'm coming down slowly, letting the pelvis touch, and then I'm straightening the legs. I'm relaxing. We're just going to relax for a couple breaths, not too long, because we're going to come into a more complicated position. Okay, let's bend our knees again. I'm going to look up to make sure that my feet are in a proper position and in line. We're going to, again, same preparation there. I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, come on up, connecting my ribcage to my pelvis. Then I'm placing my hands here so then you can kind of see what's going to happen in a second. I'm going to tilt my pelvis to my right. My belly button is pointing to the right. Okay, I'm going to drop my arms. I'm going to maintain this tilt, this rotation to the right. Both butt cheeks are engaged, and I'm lowering my right butt cheek down to where it touches the floor. Then I'm just coming back on up, maintaining that tilt to the right. That's all we're doing. Trying to keep the knees in line with the feet. I'm not letting the knees stray to the left or right. And just maintaining that right tilt. Both butt cheeks are engaged. When you lower the right butt cheek down and the left one, the right butt cheek may not be able to hold that tension and that stability. That's okay, because it's coming into an eccentric stretch there. And I can feel the pull on my knee, the medial aspect of my knee. And we're just maintaining that tilt. Let's do one more. I'm relaxing my shoulders here. Okay. Then, watch this, I'm going to come on down. And then I'm going to, as I come down, my right butt cheek touches. My knees hopefully are maintained in line with my feet. And then I tilt my pelvis to the left. My left butt cheek is touching. My right butt cheek is above the floor slightly. And I maintain this tilt. So now my tilt is to the left. It's a left rotation here. Depends on what you want to call it, a tilt or a rotation. And I'm just coming up and down with this tilt. If you want to time the breath, the exhale we come down, the inhale we come up. Let's do a couple more here. And then we're going to alternate back and forth. We're going to oscillate. trying to relax my shoulders here, utilizing my big toes and my inner thighs. Okay, now come down, left butt cheek touches. I switch, tilt to the right, come on up. Then at the top, I tilt back to the left and then come on down. Tilt to the right, come up. Tilt to the left, come on down. Come on down, tilt, come on back up, maintaining that tilt to the left, tilt to the right, come on down. Right butt cheek touches, tilt to the left, come on back up. So I can just tilt back and forth at the top or the bottom and get creative. Do whatever you would like to do. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing right now. Just play with it. I can come to the top, maintain this right tilt, come on down, tilt to the left, or watch, just tilt back and forth here. Come up to the top, tilt to the left and right, do that a few times. There's no set way you have to do it. I'm just helping you create possibilities of how you want to create mobility in the pelvis in different force vectors at different levels of the pelvis. Okay, come back to the center, come on down, straighten the legs out. We're all done. I love those rotations and tilts, teaching the pelvis how to adapt, especially when it comes to rotation, which is how we achieve a lot of power is in rotationary movements. Okay, let's let your body fall again. My pelvic floor is pretty tense right there, so now I'm relaxing it, letting it fall into the ground. Okay, let's bend our right knees. We're going to roll on over. Let's come stand up. We're going to come up into a standing position, the last position of today's class. Extension, my favorite, as always. I hate to use the word as always, but I'm using the word as always. I'm going to have my left foot forward, my right leg back. And I'm pretending that both feet are kind of like on train tracks. So I'm on the outer edge of my mat. You may not have a mat, but just find a comfortable position for you. My legs are spider monkey legs. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. Find a good position for you. I'm going to show you from this angle so you can kind of see here what I'm like. My back leg is straight and my front knee is bent and my lower leg is ideally 90 degrees. Okay, now, if you're having trouble, check out your feet position. If you're having trouble keeping this back foot straight, that's okay, but try ideally what you want is this both feet straight so it doesn't mess with your deep lateral rotators of your pelvis, okay? And then I'm going to come into extension here. My spine comes into extension. I'm going to bring my arms up, okay, on the inhale. And then I exhale, bring the arms down. So I inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, come down. We're going to do about 10 of these. Inhale up. Exhale, come down. Now, when I bring these arms up, I'm not hyperextending these arms. I'm letting the shoulders relax as I bring the arms up. I'm thinking, how can I bring my spine into extension and not overcompensating with the arms? But I'm also letting this left knee bend a little bit more so then I can get proper extension into my right hip flexors, especially the psoas muscle. And then not only the psoas muscle, but also the soleus, the calf muscle, that deep single joint local, we call it anatomy trains terminology. Because when you can have proper mobility in the soleus, you also, that affects the psoas right here. So as to have proper extension in the spine and the neck. So it starts down with that soleus. I lost count how many we're doing. That's okay. Let's say this is 7. Let's do 3 more. Keeping these right quads tight. Let's do one more. Okay. We're going to come back just to standing here. Rest here, standing. And you can check out the rooster crows. I'm going to bend. Now I'm going to switch the other side. Right foot is forward. Back leg is straight. I'm tightening this left butt cheek. I'm going to say that again because the rooster was crowing over my voice. I'm going to tighten my left butt cheek. And I can feel the difference immediately. My left calf muscles, especially my soleus, is way more compressed on my left than my right. So it's impinging upon my left psoas extension and my spinal extension. I think that's 4. The rooster knows. He just said 4. Yeah, that means 6. He's my assistant today. Yosemite. No, that was Yosemite Sam. What's the rooster's? Anyway. Oh, got 2 more. I almost lost it there. I almost fell on my ass. See, he knows. Last one. Yeah. Okay. Come on back. Let's rest here for a second. We've got 2 more directions to go. Now, my left leg is forward, right leg is back. We're going to come into side flexion. Whoa, his arm was busted again. Now, same principle. Lower legs, left knee is bent, right leg is straight, engaging the right butt cheek, those quads. And we're just leaning to the right and left here. Trying to relax my face, my forehead. And how can I get my rib cage to lengthen? My arms are relaxed. They're affecting the pull on my lats and my rib cage, but it's mainly coming from my rib cage. Let's do one more. Okay, come on back to center. Let's rest here for a couple breaths. Switch on up. Left leg is back, right leg is forward. Wave your hands up in the air. Wave your hands up in the air. Let's do 2 more. Okay. Come on back. Let's rest. Now rotation. So we had extension, we had side flexion, and now we got rotation. Here we go. So we're going to inhale, exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, exhale, rotate to the left. Still trying to keep this right leg straight, right quads engaged, right butt cheek. Now, there's some shearing happening in your discs here, especially in the lower back. We're in a rotationary aspect here. And so that's why engaging and squeezing circumferentially the abdominal region to protect the discs when we get into that shearing. Luckily, no Ed Sheeran. What's his name? Ed Sheeran, the Irish singer, is not singing right now. It's only the rooster singing. We got 2 more. Ooh, yes. Come back, rest. Why did I say just oh yes? Because I just felt this area open up and lengthen in that rotationary movement. So why are we doing all these three different directions? We're doing them because we're teaching the body how to adapt to all the different situations that it encounters. And it's not just extension, it's also side flexion, bending to the left and right, and also rotating and turning our bodies. Trying to keep this left leg straight. Let's do two more. Okay, let's come on back. Let's lie on our backs. We're all done. I'm going to lie back. And you're going to do the same. You're going to first look at your body, make sure it's straight. Let the legs drop out to the side. Palms turned upward. We're going to tuck the chin under just a little bit. And then relax the head and neck. And then after you get comfortable, you may have to adjust your pelvis a little bit. We're going to let our bodies fall. And just keep letting your bodies fall into the floor. Again, take it slow. Don't be in a hurry to do what you have to do right now. Let your body integrate and feel these new movements. Give your nervous system a chance to accept all the movements that we just did. So then it will adopt new neurological patterns that will prevent you from injuring yourself. All right, see you next week.